Deadly fire at Juarez Migrant Center kills at least 38. At least 38 people will have died at a migrant processing center in Mexico in a fire that officials say started during a protest against deportations. Many of the victims had traveled from Central and South America trying to get to the U.S. The blaze at the facility in Ciudad Juárez broke out shortly before 22:00 local time 4:00 GMT on Monday. The city, located across the Rio Grande River from El Paso, Texas, has seen an influx of people in recent weeks. Many have been heading to the U.S. border in expectation of an end to Title 42, a pandemic-era policy which gives the U.S. government the power to quickly expel migrants trying to cross its border. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said migrants had set mattresses ablaze. It was related to a protest they started, we think, when they learned that they'd be deported, the president said. They didn't think that would cause this terrible tragedy, he added. Photos from the scene show body bags lined up on the pavement outside. This is what El Paso looks like amid border crisis. Mexico's National Migration Institute INM lowered the death toll to 38 from 40, saying a visit to hospitals where victims were being treated had confirmed the lower number. Local media say the migrants inside the building where the blaze happened had been picked up by the authorities on Monday and taken to the center. The facility is located near the Stanton-Lerdo Bridge, which links Mexico and the U.S. 29 people were also injured in the blaze. Some 68 men from Central and South America were inside the center, which is run by the INM, when the fire happened. A statement from U.S. Customs and Border Protection said they were prepared to receive and process those who were injured in the fire and are being transported via ambulance from Mexican to U.S. medical facilities for treatment. Mexican authorities said the dead and injured included people from Guatemala, Honduras, Venezuela, El Salvador, Colombia and Ecuador. 28 Guatemalan citizens were killed in the fire, the country's foreign minister Mario Buquero told reporters. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres called for a thorough investigation. A spokesman said Mr. Guterres would continue working with the authorities of countries where mixed movements of people occur to establish safer, more regulated, and organized migration pathways. The U.S. ambassador to Mexico, Ken Salazar, said the tragedy was a reminder to the governments of the region of the importance of fixing a broken migration system and the risks of irregular migration. Title 42, which allows U.S. border officials to deny individuals entry to the U.S. to prevent the spread of communicable disease, was first implemented at the start of the COVID pandemic. The Biden administration has announced its intention to end the use of the Trump-era policy, but for now it remains in place. Since the announcement, the number of migrants in Ciudad Juárez awaiting the possible lifting of the restrictions has swelled. Recently, hundreds of frustrated migrants, mostly Venezuelan, tried to force their way over an international bridge into El Paso from the Mexican city. U.S. officials imposed physical barricades, saying the group had posed a potential threat to make a mass entry. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador said the fire was started by migrants inside the facility who were protesting after learning they would be deported. They never imagined that this would cause this terrible misfortune, López Obrador said, adding that the director of INM was on the scene. Images from the scene showed rows of bodies lying under shimmery silver sheets outside the facility in Ciudad Juárez, across from El Paso, Texas. Ambulances, firefighters and vans from the morgue could also be seen. INM said 68 men from Central and South America were staying at the facility. Of these, 29 more migrants were injured in the fire and were transported in delicate to serious condition to 4 local hospitals for care. Mexican seizure of U.S. company's facility marks latest diplomatic furor amid tensions over fentanyl cartels. The agency said a complaint has been filed with the proper authorities to begin investigating the incident. Mexico's National Human Rights Commission CNDH was given a hearing to intervene in legal proceedings and to safeguard foreign migrants. INM said it will assist in legal investigations in order to clarify these unfortunate facts. The National Institute of Migration strongly rejects the acts that led to this tragedy, the agency said, without specifying which acts it was referring to. Ciudad Juárez is a major crossing point for migrants entering the United States. Its shelters are full of migrants waiting for opportunities to cross or who have requested asylum in the United States and are waiting out the process. Mexican president calls us leaders after human rights slap. A local newspaper, Diario de Juárez, reported that the fire began in the men's area of the detention facility and that all the victims are male. The cause of the fire remains unknown and is being investigated by Mexico's Attorney General's office, according to media reports. This tragedy near the U.S. border comes as dual border hearings are scheduled on Capitol Hill Tuesday. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas will testify in an oversight hearing conducted by the Senate Judiciary Committee at 10 a.m. So guys, hopefully you have liked this informative video, and if you liked our video, please subscribe our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon.